Silverstone and round 5 of the Tricentrol British Saloon Car Championship. The track is very difficult today, it's wet in places, and Gordon Spice has started on dry tyres. As a result of that, he went off at Woodcote on the first lap. But it's Andy Rouse in the second of the Gordon Spice racing cars in the lead. And Andy going really well today. The 30 years old experienced saloon car driver holding now a tremendous lead as they come down towards Stoke Corner. He goes through smoothly on this part of the track, which is dry. The Rover's not going quite so well today. The Audis, however, now seem to have caught up with the other cars in their class, but Brian Muir is really having a tremendous dice with one of the Mazdas there. The Works Rovers have not yet got into their stride. Rouse going away from everybody and leading the race comfortably at the moment. Diving through there on the inside, Rex Greenslade gets by number 4, Jonathan Bunkum's Capri, also well back. Rouse absolutely dominating things. The meat in that sandwich is the car that's caused all the problems in the smaller car class, the Toyota, but quicker through Stoke Corner than the Rover or the Mazda. Rouse, however, pulling out a tremendous lead now as he goes up towards the checkered flag, having dominated the race from start to finish. Round 6 of the championship follows the Marlborough British Grand Prix at Brands Hatch. The crowd stays to watch, and what a crowd! Over 100,000 people and not one moves because the Tricentrol saloons are becoming more and more popular. The entry list is tremendous for this race, but the conditions are really difficult. The rain, which kept off for the Grand Prix, falls during the touring car race. Just look at some of the crowd scenes here. A full grid, 36 cars for this important round of the championship. A last check there for Gordon Spice's Capri in pole position. Vince Woodman in the middle of the front row and Andy Rouse on the outside. On the second row, you can just see the front there of one of the Works Rovers. This could be a very difficult race indeed because the conditions are getting worse. No one knows quite what to do about tyres. The cars come round at the end of the warming up lap and they're lined up now, ready to start. The back of the grid coming up now to form up at the end of the warming up lap. This really could be an exciting round of this championship. It's always been closely fought, but what's going to happen with the wet weather and with the Rovers and the Capris? The Reds go on, up go the Revs. This could be a tremendously exciting start, and away go the cars. And Jeff Allen comes up now from the second row into the lead. And it's Allen all the way down towards Paddock Bend. The Capris trying to follow him, but they just can't get adhesion. The field very tightly packed now, and as they come out now, up towards Druids, it's Allen still going away and making the Rovers' power really tell. It's just that little bit heavier as they come down the hill, and the Capris there scrambling for adhesion. Gordon Spice there sliding wickedly, corrects the car, but no one is going to escape this one without some scars of battle, because it really is very difficult indeed. Up at the end of lap 1, you can see now that the rain is really saturating the track. And the spray now as they come up towards Paddock with one of the Gordon Spice cars there in third place is really the thing to contend with. Through they go, and it's Gordon in third place at the present time because Andy Rouse has already had something of a problem, and you can see the damage on the Rover there just ahead of him. Through goes Brian Muir, a difficult race for him. The Rovers are running on very thin rims, which really favours them in this wet weather. Through comes the leader. In second place, it's Vince Woodman, and in third place, Gordon Spice trying to make up time there, but really having a problem with the conditions. It's caught several people out already. Just look how slippery it is as they come out of Druids there. Wyn Percy on the grass, the second of the Rovers there tied up with him. Through now, at the end of lap 3, comes the leader, and Allen is going away in these conditions. He's got the advantage of a clear track ahead, but even he gets a bit sideways there out of paddock. Woodman in second place, still Spice in third place, but the track is getting even worse. Look at the damage there on the second car in the team. Andy Rouse really has a car which must be affected by the off-course excursion. Up now towards Druids once again, and through goes the Rover, and there sliding wickedly behind there is the man who was really surprised at this race, because up came Nick Whiting, and Whiting now making something of a challenge there, as through goes the Rover and the second Capri, and off the road there goes Dave Brodie after a very good run indeed. The catch fencing saved the car from further damage, and Brodie now climbs clear, and the marshals go to his aid. Thank goodness that accident wasn't a serious one. Dave climbs up onto the bank to watch some very close racing down there on the circuit. Still the Rover dominating things, with the very damaged car now of Andy Rouse coming up behind it. But real problems for Andy today. He's not having a nice time at all out there, and who can blame him in these conditions? You can see that all the track is used by all the cars there as they come out of Druids. Everybody, in fact, absolutely on tiptoe in these conditions. The two Spice Capris running fairly close together. The leading Rover goes through, having to contend now with traffic in front of it, which is not going to make life any better for him than it is for anybody else. But the spray really taking its toll, and this track really is very difficult indeed to control cars upon. Up comes the second place Capri now, and going very well too, because Nick Whiting has never had a run like this in the Saloon Car Championship. The conditions seem to suit him, and up comes the leader once more. Gordon Spice behind him on the road and not having a very happy time. This race, however, brought to a sad close. An accident out at Westfield on the far side of the circuit between Brian Muir, Richard Longman and one of the Avengers unfortunately results in it being stopped. No one is seriously hurt, however, but the meeting, in fact, somewhat marred by this early end to a very exciting race. Jeff Allen with the spoils of victory. And it's back to Brands Hatch again for the Pace Petroleum Trophy meeting. Round 8 of the championship, round 7 having taken place at Mallory Park, and Gordon Spice still looking very happy about the result because he won that one hands down. Gordon Spice Racing are justifiably proud of their standard of preparation. They've won the 24-hour race at Spa 3 times running. Gordon back at Brands Hatch in pole position. Number 2, Andy Rouse next to him, and then Nick Whiting, the man who went so well last time out here, on the outside of the front row. What's going to happen today? A last-minute conference with the team. Could this be another Rover victory, or are we going to see the dominant Capris back in front? Gordon looks confident enough, but only the race will tell. The Autocar Capris have really gone superbly, however, in practice, and there's every chance of this being a very close race indeed. The rest of the field filed out behind them there, but the Rovers not seemingly quite so competitive today. Nick Whiting always goes well at Brands Hatch, but look at that packed grid. This could be a real barnstormer of a race. They're in pole position then, Gordon Spice, with Andy Rouse, of course, to back him up well and truly today. Some people think these two drivers are team. They don't. It's first past the flag as far as they're concerned. Our cameras at paddock to record the start. The sun is shining, and this really could be a tremendous fight down to paddock for the first time. On go the Reds, we wait for the green, and any moment now they're away. Up go the Reds, and here they come. And Whiting there makes an excellent start. Perhaps a little bit too much wheel spin. On the inside, it's Gordon Spice, and Spice and Rouse very close together, but Spice has the line, and it looks now as if he's got the lead. He has, as they go up now towards Druids for the first time, and out they come down the hill. It's definitely Spice in the lead. Tucked in behind him there after a tremendous start. Rad Dougal is really going well. His first saloon car drive for a long time. Up comes the leader at the end of lap 1. Tucked in behind there, indeed, Dougal. But look at the second of the Gordon Spice Racing Capris, really trying all he knows and getting through on the inside of a Rover. Up comes then Andy Rouse into third place. It's Capris first, second and third. Some of the smaller cars come through. The Audi's having a good run today, augmented by Tony Lanfranchi. But down comes once again Gordon Spice, really dominating this. But a tremendous battle going on because Andy Rouse is really finding that the ex-Formula 2 driver is something of a problem. He tries on the inside there. Has he made it? We wait. There's the leader coming through. And indeed, Andy Rouse into second place. It's Gordon Spice Racing Cars, first and second. But the duel is not over yet. Fighting back now as they go out now through Graham Hill Bend, along the Cooper Straight into Surtees. Rouse finding second place really difficult to hang on to. Up comes Gordon Spice, however, in the lead, pulling away. But this battle still goes on for second place. These two fighting every inch of the road. And certainly at the moment, it looks to me as if Gordon Spice has got well away from a battle he would not like to be involved in. And is pulled out a few yards, however, and the Rovers are closing a little bit on Rad Dougal. Through comes the leader once again through Paddock. Has it beautifully controlled, comes out there, a little bit more on the limit goes Andy Rouse. There's the third place Capri, and look at the oversteer on the Rover there, holding on. Woodman through next, and then Graham Good having a good run for a change. The two Gordon Spice Capris, however, have closed right up now. They're running nose and tail, absolutely at the head of the race. Through goes once again Greenslade on opposite lock, and here come the Capris, and you can see 2 or 3 cars length between them, and left behind a little bit now Rad Dougal. The brake lights blink on for Druids, absolutely nose and tail now. Through Paddock once again, Andy Rouse trying to close that gap a little bit, but Gordon's not going to let him. Gordon Spice then well and truly in charge. Rad Dougal in the third place Capri, holding on as best he can, but well ahead of the opposition that has, of course, more races in this sort of car. The leaders still close together, only 3 or 4 cars length between them, and we wait now for third place man Rad Dougal. He's through, and we wait now for the Rovers. They come up, but still we've got the oversteer problem there that seems to be absolutely dogging all the efforts that they make today. Gordon Spice Racing Capris, first and second, and Gordon well and truly in charge. A whole load of experience has really taken him once again to a tremendous victory, one that he really needs for all the points in the championship really count in the big car class. Up they come once more, and the flag this time is out for Gordon Spice to win the Pace Petroleum Tricentral round at Brands Hatch, first and second for the team. Gordon Spice has been driving saloons for a very long time. His days go back to the Britax Coopers, front-wheel drive. Will we see him in front-wheel drive cars again? Don't forget, he finished third at Le Mans in a big sports car. Will he be driving at Le Mans next year, and in what? Gordon Spice certainly can turn his hand to any sort of car. He's had a load of single-seater experience too. Round 9 of the championship at Thruxton, and this time it's Vince Woodman in pole position on his own home ground. The Gordon Spice cars on the front row, however, but Woodman makes a tremendous start. As they go in towards Allard, you can see how tightly packed the field is. Up there, it's still Woodman, who gets the inside and out now towards the complex. Into Campbell, Cobb and Seagrave on lap 1. It's still Woodman. And off the road, over the grass goes the Mazda. Woodman there holding off the 2 Capris behind there, the 2 red cars there trying so hard to close the gap. Around the rest of the Thruxton circuit go the cars, still tightly packed. Who's going to be in the lead at the end of lap 1? It's still Woodman, but right with him now and diving for the inside. It's one of the Gordon Spice cars. It's Andy Rouse this time. Gordon Spice holding on, trying to get through there into third place with the second of the Woodman cars. Then Jonathan Buncombe holding him back at the moment. That's the position at Campbell, Cobb and Seagrave again. The sequence now as they come through, still the Gordon Spice Capris really in a dominant position. The Rovers not having a good day. The tight swerves of Thruxton doesn't suit them too well. But this time, it's Rouse in the lead and up to third place, Gordon Spice. There's damage there to the bumper of that car already because it's really close racing. Once again there, a bit sideways, but still Andy Rouse holding off Vince Woodman. Gordon Spice, however, trying to close the gap and a big challenge there. It didn't come off, and it's still, in fact, Gordon Spice there in third place with Andy Rouse heading the team at the moment. Andy Rouse having a tremendous time holding off the Woodman car, and Woodman trying all he knows. There goes that flapping rear bumper, and it's the same on the other side. But it's not slowing the car down at all, as Gordon Spice now goes out after the leading pair. He really wants the points in this championship. Another sideways movement there by Woodman, and they're very close indeed, as up comes Spice now, closing the gap all the time. Inch by inch, he gets closer and closer, and it's 1, 2, 3, with less than a car's length between them as they come through this time. Rouse is trying all he knows, but Spice is closing all the time and looks all set to try and have a go for the lead. Woodman there in between the two of them, trying all he knows to hold on to his position. A Rover a bit sideways there, but all's not well with those cars today. Gordon Spice is bound to make his move soon for the front, and indeed he's up now to second place. Woodman trailing in third as they go over the curb. Look at those flapping bumpers. It's really causing problems undoubtedly for those watching from behind, but Gordon couldn't care less. He's out after Andy Rouse, and indeed he's really closing the gap. A battle between Lanfranchi and Sterling Moss, another feature of this exciting race. But up come the cars once again to the end of another lap, and all the time this battle now between the two team cars really seems to be set for a proper cliffhanger. It's still Andy Rouse, but Spice is worrying every inch of the road. Look at the dent in the door. Have they had contact between them, we wonder? Up they come once again, and Woodman is out of the race. The engine has blown on the blue and white Capri, and so the field is clear for this superbly prepared cars of Gordon Spice Racing. These cars dicing it out all the way around the circuit, as is the battle there between John Morris and Chris Hodgetts as we wait for the leaders to come up. Here they come, still nose and tail, and still Andy Rouse at the moment holds the advantage as they come now into the braking area. Look at the way that Spice tries to dive round the outside. Will he make it now, or won't he, as they go out onto this lap? Just about 2 cars lengths between them. A wee bit sideways there for the second place car, but they're sorting it out beautifully now, in and among the traffic. And closer gets Gordon Spice. Closer to Jonathan Buncombe in the third place car, but the battle is at the front of the field, and a big challenge now on the outside. Gordon tries to make it. Will he? No, this time it's not quite right. He'll have to time it a little bit better than that, but he will continue to fight. Gordon Spice has fought his way back to fitness from accidents. He's fought his way to the front of the field many times this year, and he shows all that fighting spirit here at Thruxton, where he's fighting for the lead in the class and in the championship. Really going all he knows at the moment to take the lead away from Andy Rouse, and having another go in the same place on the straight into the braking area. This time I think he's made it. Yes, he has, on the inside. Gordon Spice leads the race then. Andy Rouse in second place, and Gordon Spice Racing really showing the way home to the traffic this afternoon at Thruxton. A beautifully controlled slide there, and Gordon Spice goes on his winning way, trying to stretch that lead a little bit. Flicks the car left and right, blue flag there for back markers, and now trying to get away from Rouse. Here they come, absolutely nose and tail, and Andy fights back. But certainly Gordon Spice looks as if he's got it nicely under control. That looks to be a wicked dent in the side of the car, but it's made not the slightest bit of difference. It takes a lot of experience to overcome that sort of disadvantage. But Gordon Spice has it and goes away now with a couple of 3 cars length, and the Rover closing the gap on Andy Rouse. Still the Spice Capris lead the day. Down comes Gordon once again, the Rover right with Andy this time, but nothing to be done about it. Gordon Spice then pulling away, getting himself a little bit more advantage now with back markers to overtake on this lap. A touch of opposite lock, and Gordon Spice going away from the field. Through goes one of the Rovers, challenging there one of the Vince Woodman cars, but not being able at the moment to get by. Buncombe holding him off in the other Capri. Spice still trying hard, going a little bit wide there, and Andy Rouse really having to work hard to hold off there one of the Rovers. Here come once again the Capris, and the Rover then trying to close the gap, but he can't quite make it. And Gordon Spice with a bit more breathing space between himself and the opposition as the race enters its closing stages. Spice has really fought a tremendous battle to get himself back up towards the front. There goes the sign, 2 laps to go, and well and truly in the lead. And Andy also well placed. This really could be a tremendous fillip for the team as the season reaches its close. The checkered flag about to go out, and up comes the leader. It goes out now. Gordon Spice wins the race, and certainly at the moment look all set for more points at Silverstone, the final round of the championship. Thruxton is a difficult circuit, one which has teasing curves out the back, as well of course as heavy braking as they come into the chicane. But Gordon Spice looks absolutely delighted, so does Andy, and they don't even seem to be too much trouble when they have a chance to look at the damage to Gordon's car. Up to the presentation, and on of course to the next race. Gordon looks a bit hot and bothered, but it's a beautiful day, and he must be feeling very pleased with the way things have gone here. Team manager Keith Green in the background, Andy Rouse and Gordon Spice. What a team! The final round of the British Saloon Car Championship at Silverstone. The rightful place perhaps for it on the very fast swerves, and a huge crowd to watch it too, even though it's late in the season. Gordon Spice would very much like to win this one, the last round of the championship. But so would everybody else in the class, and it's certainly going to be a tremendous battle. Indeed, Spice in practice has been very impressive. But the Rovers, of course, have gone well at Silverstone. It remains to be seen whether, with a fine day and the weather perhaps favouring the Capris a little bit, they can hold off the Rover challenge. In pole position, Jeff Allen. Allen has gone well here in the past, but the Rover's proved a little bit brittle, and he's had his problems in practice. The famous Silverstone chicane. But to the grid now, and in pole position, the Triplex SO Rover. Can Jeff Allen really do it this time? There sits Gordon Spice. He looks happy enough. A little bit of pensiveness there, but he's obviously going to try very, very hard indeed. Can he make it 4 in a row? Third fastest on the grid, and a last check under the bonnet. These cars superbly prepared, bearing none of the battle scars we saw last time out. A look there underneath the car because someone's dropping water on the grid. It's not one of the Gordon Spice cars, however. Second quickest in practice, Andy Rouse in the middle of the front row. And the grid now ready to start. We wait for the reds to go on. 6 to 10 seconds later, it's the green. The revs go up, and everybody watching those lights absolutely till the last moment. This could be the race of the whole of the series. The last round of the Tricentral Saloon Car Championship, and it looks as if it's the Capri into the lead. Or is it the Rover? The Rover, they're trying on the inside. They go up towards Copse for the first time. And as they come up towards Copse, it looks as if the Capris have made it. No, the Rover on the inside. The Rover there into the lead. And Jeff Allen at the moment holding off the Capris as the field files through. But this time, at the end of lap 1, into the chicane at Woodcote, and through comes Gordon Spice in the lead. A tremendous fighting battle there by Spice to get through the traffic into the lead and hold off the opposition. Can he do it for the rest of the race? Gordon Spice, the driver of Capris, right since the car first, of course, was in the championship, has always been the man to beat as far as the big class is concerned. He has the job weighed up tremendously, and in spite of the pressure from behind, there's no way that the Rovers can push him around. Indeed, Allen's car has had problems. Just as in practice, it's not going as well in the race as we expected it to, and therefore it looks as if we're going to have the Capris first and second before long. But Woodman has different ideas. Woodman there in between the two, trying all he knows, and well backed up by Jonathan Buncombe. There's Spice. He's got all the trouble in the world on his tail as the blue and white Capri challenges, and Andy Rouse tries to do something about it. Very close to the catch fencing there, first, second, third and fourth, the 4 Capris fighting every inch of the road. Silverstone is a very quick circuit, and this is the sort of circuit that Gordon Spice really enjoys driving on. He can set the car up beautifully for Cobb's Corner at the end of the pits, and here you have a chance to watch the master at work. Absolutely superb line all the way through. The maximum amount of road used, but he doesn't go onto the concrete. Up toward the Woodcote chicane, this also can be difficult, and right behind him you can see that the Woodman car is going over the curbs and thereby losing time. Gordon Spice then, the master of the situation, and certainly at the moment we've got all the problems in the world from the Colts behind because Barry Williams is being shadowed all the while by David Morgan. The leaders once again into Woodcote chicane, however, and through they come, and the pressure is still there. Woodman is trying this time for a finish. He's had his problems this year, but will he be able to do it? No, indeed, we've got the Spice cars first and second, as Rouse now has got through. Through goes Gordon Spice then, once again keeping it well and truly on the island and finding the traffic nothing of a problem in Silverstone's wide open spaces. Lap 12 of this round of the championship, on which everything counts. No, that's not an air brake. The boot of the Fiesta has come up, and Richard Longman indeed has to go to the pits with the car. But the lead now stretching out a little bit as Andy Rouse is into second place, but is out of touch with Spice, who is absolutely unbeatable today. The class championship is at stake, and Spice can't afford to ease off too much, but he's dominating the situation, no doubt, with an eye in the mirror for his teammate. Up they come, nose and tail this time. Perhaps he slacked off too much. It's going to be a team battle right the way to the finish. And Spice has really got to work for it, as out goes the checkered flag, and Gordon Spice makes it the 4 in the row that he hopes to. Gordon Spice Racing then, very pleased indeed, no doubt, with a championship victory here that gives them the 3-litre plus class in the Tricentral British Saloon Car Championship. And look at the smile on the little man's face. Out of the 10 rounds of the Tricentral British Saloon Car Championship this year, Gordon Spice Racing have won 9. What a record!